Birds scream at the top of their lungs in horrified, hellish rage every morning at daybreak to warn us all of the truth. They know the truth. Screaming bloody murder all over the world in our ears. But sadly, we don't speak bird. In this story,
the bird will be played by the flute, like this.
Bird, is silence a punishment or a weapon? Could I have a bit more light, please, on the desk here? Thanks. She who has a wicked tongue must be struck hard on the mouth. Bird, why are you screaming? When I listen to your screams, I hear the voices of those whose tongues were cut, of those condemned to silence. I hear their fears, their terror. Shh.
In the morning you'll wake up and rise. Spread your wings and fly up to the sky. Hush, little child, now don't you cry. Hush, or the wolf will pass this way. So softly he will creep, he'll crawl into bed and into your head, and ravish you in your sleep. And once he's done, he'll cut out your tongue, and no one will hear his song. But soon you will wake up and rise. Spread your wings and fly up to the sky. Hush, little child, now don't you cry.
Philomela, raped by your sister's husband, King Tereus, mutilated, raped again. Tongue cut from your mouth so that you could not spill a word of your pain. But the gods transformed you into a nightingale. And out of your dumbness came strength and sweetness. Mutation is the sweetest revenge. The little mermaid lost her voice to no avail. She cast one more lingering, half-fainting glance at the prince, and then threw herself from the ship into the sea, and thought her body was dissolving into foam. Transformation brings explicit pain. Your tail will part and shrink into what humans call nice legs, but it will hurt just as if a sharp sword were passing through you. Every step you take will be like treading on a knife sharp enough to cause your blood to flow. But cutting out your tongue is still not enough. To be saved, more is required. Self-obliteration, dissolution, disintegration, total abandonment of the self. You will become foam on the crest of the waves. You are a daughter of the air. Birdsong correlates with high levels of testosterone. Female birds who receive testo implants sing more. Their song becomes more male-like in frequency and structure. During the first year of their life, there is only a very short period in which birds can acquire the species song. If they are deprived of the chance through segregation or isolation, many species will remain mute. The exceptions are the flycatchers, for whom song is genetically encoded, and who can consequently still vocalize even when raised in silence. All other songbirds, blackbirds, thrushes, nightingales, will slur and gibber if they are not raised within earshot of their members of the same species in the brief time of the learning window that opens. But what about that which cannot be silenced? That which is neither yours nor mine, but all of ours, widespread. That which shakes the walls and interrupts sleep, where the unbearable is acted out. Uncontainable, irrepressible, worse. A sound erupts seemingly from nowhere, breaks a silence, or shatters expectations. Disturbs a moral code, changes the atmosphere. Something happens and things can no longer go back to the way they were before. Screams, terrors, tremors, uncontrolled excretion, foaming at the mouth, facial spasms, fits, tics, squinting, barking, little tremors, shaking, like lightning, cardiac palpitations, choking, contractions of the rectum, sweating, tears, tears of blood, cold sweats, tingling, prickling, tickling, coughing, sneezing, wheezing, tinnitus, whispering, hiccuping, auditory hallucinations, visions of whirlwinds and fireworks, mutism, bursts of laughter, unrelenting, an insatiable fire, until consciousness is extinguished. A wing flaps, a little suspension of being.
I remember him saying that he was at one point captured by the enemy, and he was being taken to be shot in a line with others, but he fell unconscious at the same time, so the bullet didn't hit him. He woke up amongst the dead bodies and found himself alive. He thought at first that he was in another world. And then he realized, obviously, that he was not in another world, that he was still alive. When he saw all the dead bodies around him, he lost faith. He was religious up to that time.
Stay down.
Because he said, where is God in all that?
Just don't worry.
He was meant to be dead.
God. Are you okay? Yeah. Wait, just stay there. Let me get you some water, okay? Fainting as feigning. An imitation of death that at the same time means it's the precise opposite. Fainting, a little suspension of being. My grandfather was mute. Some stories are too difficult to tell. Some stories can only be told through silence. Absence of the self. Cerebral eclipse. The person who faints returns as if from a foreign country, elated, confused, or disoriented. A form of ecstatic empowerment, a form of rapture, a miraculous suspension of time. I am a daughter of the air. The birds are infecting my dreams. I keep hearing their screams. Birds are the only non-mammalian creature to have rapid eye movement, REM, sleep, the part of sleep associated with dreaming. You are listening to the electrical activity of the brain of a sleeping pigeon. EEG data has been converted into audible waveforms. I wanted to listen to the sound of the pigeon's sleeping brain. Listening to this data, one can observe two main patterns: large, slow waves, non-rapid eye movement sleep or slow wave sleep, and low amplitude, fast activity, rapid eye movement or REM sleep. Here is an exaggerated version. Throughout the night, birds periodically cycle through these two sleep states. Humans with manic depression share similar sleep patterns with birds. They enter the dream state too quickly. Bird, please stop screaming. Birds are unique for their remarkable ability to stay awake against harsh ecological conditions, undermining the common thought that sleep is necessary for survival. During migration, the white-crowned sparrow remains alert on almost no sleep. Sleep is our weakness, and at the same time our strength, our resilience, our resistance. Listen to the bird screams. They know the truth. Sadly, we don't speak bird, but we can listen. Credits and contributors: great crested flycatchers, red-winged blackbirds, nightingales, hermit thrushes, bellbirds, Australian lyrebirds, the Bird Game theme music by Oliver Coates, David Bowie introducing the bird section of Peter and Wolf by Prokofiev, Cuckoo by Benjamin Britten, field recordings of a dawn chorus in Martinique, a lullaby inspired by the myth of Philomela from my latest film, The Bird Game, co-composed by myself and Oliver Coates, Ariel's song from Disney's The Little Mermaid, extracts from Hans Christian Andersen's The Little Mermaid, The Beast and the Blonde by Marina Warner, Syncope, A Philosophy of Rapture by Catherine Clement, an interview with my mother describing my grandfather's Holocaust survival, various recordings of my body fainting, EEG recordings obtained from the Max Planck Institute of Ornithology, converted into audio files by musician Corliss, and Slow Motion Blackbird by Steve Reich. Thank you all for listening.